Hey guys, we're going to review the 7th grade worksheet, and the first question we're going to look at is 1F. So the question is 9 is equal to x plus 10 over 18. And since 18 is the denominator and we don't want anything in the denominator, we're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 18. So on the left side, what we have is 162 is equal to the two 18s cancel out. So all we have left over is x plus 10. And we want to isolate x, so to get rid of the plus 10, we have to subtract by 10 on both sides. So now we have 152 is equal to x. The next question we're going to look at is 2f. So the question is 12 is equal to 5 minus negative 5z. I'm going to rewrite the question so it's easier to read. When we have two negative signs next to each other, it turns into a positive. Because we have minus negative 5, which is plus 5z. So to isolate z, we have to subtract 5 on both sides because we want to get rid of this term on the right side. So our new equation is 7 is equal to 5z. And to isolate z, we have to get rid of this term, and the reciprocal of 5 is 1 over 5. So we're going to multiply both sides by 1 over 5. And when we rewrite that, it becomes 7 over 5 is equal to z. The next question we're going to look at is 3f. So I'm going to rewrite this question so it's easier to read. 5 times 4 is equal to 3 parentheses 2 minus x. So 5 times 4 is 20 is equal to 3 parentheses 2 minus x. To get rid of the 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which is 1 over 3. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So 20 times 1 over 3 is 20 over 3 is equal to the 3 in the denominator and the 3 in the numerator cancel out, so all I have left is 2 minus x. And to get rid of this 2 on the right side, I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides because originally it was a positive 2. So to get rid of it, I'm going to do the opposite, which is subtracting by 2. So in order to subtract 2 from 20 over 3, they have to have the same denominator. So I'm going to copy the 20 over 3, but when I subtract the 2, I'm going to change it to 6 over 3, which is 6 over 3 is 2, but I changed it to have the 3 in the denominator. And then 2 minus 2 is just 0, so that just cancels out, and all I have left over is a negative x. And to subtract these two fractions, I'm going to subtract the numerators. So 20 minus 6 is 14 over 3. And I can just subtract the numerator and keep the denominator the same because both the denominators are already the same. And then I'm going to just copy whatever's left over. Since this is a negative x and I want a positive x, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 1. Because if I multiply by negative 1, these two signs cancel out, and all I have left is x is equal to negative 14 over 3. And that's your final answer. The last question that I will be reviewing is 4e. So I'm trying to isolate x, and to do that, I need to divide by 3 on both sides because I want to get rid of this separated term here. So 9x over 3 is 3x, and then 3 divided by 3 is just 1, and any term multiplied by 1 is just that term. And since there are two negative signs next to each other, I'm going to rewrite it so it's easier to read and simplify it. So minus negative is just positive 6 over 5. I want to combine these two terms together, so I'm going to move this term to this side. So the two x's are together. But to subtract two fractions, they have to have the same denominator. So I'm going to change 3x into 12x over 4, which is the same thing as 3x. It just has a 4 in the denominator. And since they have the same denominator, I can just subtract the two numerators together. So it's 9x over 4 is equal to 6 over 5. And then to get rid of this fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So what I have left over is 24 over 45.